Hey, I'm Tom, and this is TRB Collectibles, where I go to yard sales, estate sales, and thrift stores. I buy items for a low price and then resell them on eBay for a decent profit. This week, not only did I want to talk about my sales, but I also want to talk about what led to sales and what influences buyers to make sure that they click that buy button, not only on one, but multiple items. And a key influencer on that is combined shipping. What combined shipping allows your buyers to do is go through your eBay store, select a couple different items, whether it be the same category or a couple different other ones, because maybe they're looking for different categories and different items. But it allows them to save that money on the combined shipping because it all ships in one box or one bag. Yes, combined shipping can be your friend. In my case, I charge my buyers for shipping, but if you're offering free shipping and your boxes get heavier and heavier, it might not be the route that you're looking to take. But in my case, it worked out really well this week with my very first item, or items, being my cross-stitch patterns. Yep, that's right, I'm still selling those cross-stitch patterns, and they sell like my bread and butter, and I'm happy to keep selling them. This person not only bought one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 different cross-stitch patterns, which they went ahead and they bought them all in the same time. I went ahead and I sent them an invoice. Now what the invoice allows me to do is create that combined shipping offer to the buyer. It takes what they've paid for, whether it be a best offer or straight outright buying it, and then it allows me to play with the weight of the packaging, send it to the buyer, and that is how they will pay for the combined shipping. The other way might be that the buyer, if you have immediate payment on, that the buyer buys multiple items. You then have to go create a custom order, ship it, and then refund them the difference in their shipping. I prefer to do it in the first method, which makes it a lot easier. So with those 5 cross-stitch patterns, what I did is they paid $38.49, and then they paid $9 shipping on top. I went ahead and I weighed out all the cross-stitch patterns, and they happened to weigh over a pound, which would have teeter-tottered it close to $9 for the buyer. But luckily, I had some padded priority mail flat rate envelopes, which take their total to $9. Otherwise, I would have had to charge my buyer more to just put it in a regular poly mailer. Normally, I ship my cross-stitch patterns individually for usually $3 to $4 because of their weight. But since there were 5, I said why not throw it into a priority mailer and get it to the buyer for less than 2 pounds at that $9 rate. So it made it a $9 flat rate on top of their purchase cost rather than $9 and change or $10 depending on where they live. And I went ahead and I shipped it via priority flat rate padded envelope. And the buyer was very happy and they left me great feedback. And they said they would like to purchase again since I saw so many cross-stitch patterns from me. So that led to a repeat buyer, good feedback, and I got my buyer their items in less than 2 days because it then became priority mail, which worked out for everyone. So if you happen to have the opportunity to offer combined shipping, it's not as challenging as it might be, but be sure to give it an offer because you might lead to more sales. The second item, or items that I sold this week, goes back to a couple weeks ago when I made that miraculous sale of over 250 CDs for $40. Now I searched through that bin, I went ahead and I looked, and I found enough value that I knew I could make my money back. It's been, I think, less than a month at this point in time. And I went ahead and I'm gonna put up the images of the CDs that I sold. I sold a Madonna CD for $9.99. I sold a Phil Lesh CD performing in Saratoga Springs, and I sold a Pure Moods CDs for $19.99. I paid $40 total for over 250 CDs, and right now I'm sitting at $40 invested. And each of these buyers that paid for these CDs paid about $2.89 on top for that media mail shipping. I've gotten good reviews. It got there nice and safe. The most important thing is I ship CDs in a bubble mailer, padded bubble mailer, and you're looking at me, well, aren't you afraid of the jewel case cracking? What I do is I take a piece of bubble wrap, I wrap the CD, and then I put it in the padded envelope so it gives it that extra cushion. I haven't had a negative review yet or somebody know that the case is broken, so it's worked out really well in my favor. I'm already at that $40 mark, And I've paid for all these CDs with the CDs that I just sold. So I sold 4 CDs of $250 and I made my initial investment back. Was it worth it? Yeah. And now if I were to do anything, I could sell these CDs just to make pure profit, which worked out really well. So don't pass up the opportunity to look up CDs when they come across. The next one was a little bit interesting. This was a test item. I wanted to see if I could actually do it and actually piece out a piece of a toy. The next one was a K'NEX Nintendo Mario set. It had all the K'NEX pieces and everything at the store. I went ahead and I cherry picked all the figures of Mario and Luigi and the enemies in that Mario Party style K'NEX playset. I went ahead and I pieced them out. I tested them when I got home. They worked. I went ahead and I put them up at a lot at $24.99, thinking I'm hopefully gonna get $10 for this. Not only did they buy it for $24.99, but they also paid $8.10 on top. In total, I paid about $2.67 on that average. When I buy, usually at my thrift store, I buy a lot of items and then I price it out as an average, and $2.67 was what I paid for these K'NEX figures, which was a huge win. It was the first time I parted out a toy, and I guess people were looking for it to complete a set, and they paid up for it, $24.99 for pieces of a toy that wasn't even complete. Hey, I can't complain. I now know going forward I can do that, and people are looking to complete sets or just have it in their collection, and I'm happy to put it up, and I'm happy to keep looking for these kinds of toys. The next one, we're going back to media. I've been telling you here and there that I've been looking more and more into media, and it's really bringing in success for me. To you, these sales might not be grand, where they're bringing in a lot of money. But for me, if you're consistent and you have a lot of it and it's selling all the time, it gives you that peace of mind that you know that somebody's really looking for it. And this was really interesting because I sold cassettes. And these cassettes I bought a while back. I probably purchased over 50 cassettes. No, what was it? It was close to 75 cassettes at this point, and I bought them all for $10. So I really had nothing into it. I had maybe 30 cents a piece into these units. I sold an Eagles cassette, and I sold a Bob Marley cassette, each for $9.99 each, and the buyers paid $2.89 shipping on both. So by selling 2 cassettes of the 75 that I had, now granted I have had a couple duds of those cassettes in which I had to throw them away because they were broken and they were pre-recorded tapes that I cannot sell. 30 cents into $10, and I only paid $10 for over 75 of them. Hey, at the end of the day, I'm happy to sit on these all month. They go into that special categories of 10,000 listings for media, separate from my store. I'm happy to leave them there and let them sell when they do. And it's just pure profit after this. Any cassette that I sell, it will be just pure money in my pocket, and I can't complain. They're easy to list, they're easy to look at, and to make sure that they work. So I always recommend looking up media, cassettes, CDs, DVDs. They're true winners. They take time, but they will bring you profit over the long haul if you price them right. The last item this week was the most exciting. I had purchased this at the thrift store for $1.25. Not necessarily $1.25. Remember, I buy a lot of different items, and then I price it out via how many I bought, and then I categorize it, and this came to be on one of those days where I bought a lot, $1.25. Individually, I think it was priced at $10 at the store, but my cost averaging was $1.25. I sold this Neat Desk Organizer. The Neat Desk Organizer is something unique. I saw it on TV a long time ago, and how it's going to organize all your files and papers for your home office needs, from receipts to business cards to professional documents to bills. It'll do it all. Yeah. So I remember looking at this. I had a feeling that somebody was probably looking for this to make sure that they could bring it into their home office or home entity to make sure that all their files were nice and scanned and put away. It was perfect. It's like it was used once and put back in the box. I couldn't complain about this purchase. I sold it for $119.99. I didn't think I was going to get that price. I listed it as a whim just to see. I was happy to sit on it, and it sold. And the kicker is they paid $42.90 for shipping on top of the $119.99. Hey, I can't complain. That was a fantastic flip for me. It was the highest flip all week. I was really excited. Somebody's gonna get a really great deal on this product and walk away with a neat desk organizer that was way less than what you would have paid for a brand new one, which apparently they still sell. So overall, I really enjoyed the sales this week. I hope you learned a little bit more about combined shipping. If you wanted to know more, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'm more than happy to further explain. And if you want to see more content on combined shipping or me learning about new items that I'm happy to test in my eBay store to see if I could actually make money off of them, also leave those down in the comments and questions below. As I just mentioned, if you had any questions, be sure to leave them down below. I'm always happy to answer them if you had any whatsoever. If you really enjoyed the video, go ahead and click that like button. If you really like this video, be sure to check out some of my other videos, as well as click that subscribe button. As always, my name's Tom, and this has been TRB Collectibles.